Hey guys, Saiyan here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so it's been a while since I've done one of these, but I am doing a custom celebration video. You can see from the title and the thumbnail, I asked other Dokkan YouTubers to design the Saiyan Day celebration that obviously is going to be coming to both versions of the game very soon. I sent them, just like in the previous iterations, I sent them a list of things that I wanted them to let me know. Sent those out to a couple of guys, got the replies back, and obviously we are putting them together into this video. So shout out to all the guys who took part: Goresh, Truth, Manato, and Toon. I also wanted to give some of my thoughts at the end, but I know I have already made a video talking about Saiyan Day stuff with the Super Saiyan 3 one, but I wanted to go through all of these as we've done before. I've tried to source as decent enough arts as I can for characters that don't already have cards in Dokkan, but for some it's easier than others. But yeah, we'll go ahead and jump in. So we are going to start off here with the homie Goresh himself. He has given us a celebration themed around Dragon Ball Z Broly movies, and he specifically put in brackets, not Bio Broly. So the general theme is movie 8 and movie 10, essentially, Broly and then Broly's Second Coming. No Bio Broly, because obviously with the anniversary, very specifically themed around Super Broly, Super Bosses, Blue Gogeta, that kind of thing. So Dragon Ball Z Broly movies. So the headline Dokkan Fest character for Saiyan Day will be a Super Saiyan Goku. I know some people out there are, I can already imagine the reactions. Is this a really Goresh or is it a Matsu in disguise? But Super Saiyan Goku with a standby where he collects energy from the other Z fighters, charge counter format like the Buu Duo where you charge it up by picking up orbs, and then the finish ability is the uppercut that he uses to defeat Broly at the end of the movie. So the thing is, whilst it is a Super Saiyan Goku, it's interesting that we don't have a representation for that Super Saiyan Goku at all in the game, considering Broly is a very popular Dragon Ball character. The first Broly movie is a very popular Dragon Ball movie, and you know, like we have the wallpaper that I think I still use now with the Super Saiyan Goku versus Broly, but we still don't have the actual Super Saiyan Goku that defeats Broly at the end of that movie represented in the game. So definitely would be cool to finally have that representation in Dokkan, and I imagine the animations with the quality that we have nowadays would obviously be very, very good. So then we have the banner unit. Now this one's interesting. The banner unit would be Paragus and Legendary Super Saiyan Broly with an exchange into just Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, and the animation would be where he crushes Paragus in the Saiyan escape pod. So I think that would be certainly very interesting, definitely a fun animation to have in the game. I think the only downside to this, whilst this would be a fun unit, is I guess they would end up suffering from the same issue that the Int Broly and Paragus card has from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, where Paragus's inclusion in the card means that they're going to miss out on categories that the Legendary Super Saiyan Broly would be on solo, like movie bosses, full power, planetary destruction, that kind of thing. But definitely a fun side banner unit, and having that animation as an active skill exchange into just a solo Broly would definitely be very, very interesting to see. And then we have the main Easy A's for the celebration. So no surprise, I'm sure, for a Broly themed celebration. This one is very much anticipated by the community. The LR Tech Super Saiyan Broly that transforms into the Legendary Super Saiyan. And then the sub Easy A for the physical Gohan banner unit from the Second Coming movie. He was the banner unit that released with the Go Bros. The physical Super Saiyan Gohan. He's a Movie Heroes support unit, so with a good Easy A, I mean, Movie Heroes is still a very, very strong team, especially on JP, like post-anniversary. So if they gave him a solid Easy A, he would be very, very good. And of course, it would make sense with this celebration because he would be supporting the new Goku, who of course would be a Movie Heroes character. So two very interesting potential Easy A's there. Like I say, the Tech Broly one, highly anticipated. He could be incredibly good if they do his Easy A right, so that'll be very fun. And then I always ask the guys to let me know some sort of special new event or new stages added to events or something like that. So for Goresh's picks here for his Saiyan Day celebration, new stage of the Intensifying Fights event where you fight Broly. This is the one that we saw release with the Android 13 and Super Saiyan Goku, where the stages had kind of secret restrictions, where if you picked up enough orbs or you did a certain number of super attacks, you could change the outcome of the fight. So this would be versus Broly, but with a secret stage where you can fight Broly from the Second Coming movie. That'd be quite interesting. Very cool to think you've like won the event by beating legendary Super Saiyan Broly from the end of the first movie, and then you have to fight like the Broly Second Coming Broly as part of the end of the event. So that's very cool. And then also a new Red Zone stage added to the Movie Bosses 2 event for the Second Coming Broly. I think that would be kind of weird for global because obviously we don't have the Movie Bosses 2 yet. And since, as far as I know, the stages are completed on JP with Red Zone Gold and Frieza, this one would be being added effectively as the final stage, and therefore you would think in theory would be the hardest stage, which would be super fun for a Second Coming Broly boss fight. It would just be weird to see how they'd implement that on on global. Because technically they'd have to release Movie Bosses Red Zone 2 with just the one stage, but it would be the one that eventually becomes the final one, so it'd be very hard, right? So not sure how well that would work. I mean, I guess as long as they make it decent level difficulty, it could just be added to Movie Bosses 1 Red Zone. So that'd be quite interesting. But yeah, a Broly Second Coming Red Zone boss fight. So 2 new events centered around Broly. That was Goresh's contribution for a Broly movies, with definite clarification, not Bio Broly, Broly movies themed Saiyan Day celebration. So let me know what you think of Goresh's one down below in the comment section, and let us move on to the next one. Okay, so moving on to the next contribution, we have our boy Manato, one of my fellow co-hosts from the Slot 1 Super podcast, and his contribution is a Saiyan Day celebration. The theme is not so much set like Goresh's with the Broly movies. It's he literally just put, I don't know, just pure Saiyans, I guess. Because the headliner for the celebration, and this is something I know that is a lot of people have speculated for, I've talked about it on stream, I definitely think it would be a very cool choice, and that is a Dokkan Fest Goku and Bardock. So based around the art that's been floating around the internet for a while, obviously, you know, Legends got a version of this, but the card is specifically Super Saiyan Goku and Bardock. So he doesn't say specifically, but I'm assuming because he's listed it out here the way a card would be laid out. So I assume it would say Super Saiyan Bardock if he meant Super Saiyan Bardock. So Super Saiyan Goku and base Bardock, they would be a new Pure Saiyans 200% lead. So regardless of what their 170s and then plus 30 would be, they would have a 200% lead for Pure Saiyans. Definitely would be a very good team. But they would introduce a tag mechanic, because this is something that people I know have talked about for a while. It is obviously kind of similar to a type of Legends gameplay. You can switch back and forth with who is the lead character. The unit changes typing, passive, and certain links, such as Super Saiyan for Goku. Goku is more offensive based but greatly stacks defense. Bardock is more defense based but greatly stacks attack. You can tag into the other character whenever you want via the active skill, but you can only do so once per turn. And when you switch into the character, you get a certain effect. So if you switch over to Goku, you get support to allies, and then from later in the game, I think he said from the 5th turn, when you switch to Goku, he has a target skill for that turn. And then when you tag into Bardock, he can heal and then provide a scouter later on as well, which obviously can be super useful against the final stages of some of these tougher events. So definitely very interesting. I want to see a Goku and Bardock unit. I would imagine they probably would just end up making them a joined forces character, but this kind of new tag mechanic I definitely think would be very, very cool. So this is something that would be very, very interesting to see. The banner unit would be a new Great Ape Raditz with damage reduction, Pure Saiyan multi-turn support, and then when under 70% HP or with a full extreme class rotation can active form into a giant ape. Obviously giant ape characters still very, very powerful in the meta because of how that affects bosses and their abilities. So with damage reduction and Pure Saiyan multi-turn support, he would obviously be really, really good on these kind of teams anyway. And then having an active skill where you can go into the giant ape would then be very effective for cancelling out some of these more powerful boss abilities. So I definitely think that is very, very good. And then for the easy A's, now bear in mind these, I've been putting all these details together and getting the video made and stuff before some of the most recent developments in the game. So for one of the big ticket things for the celebration, he did list the AGL Bardock easy A. Because a lot of us thought that that could potentially come for Saiyan Day, but obviously that has come out on JP in the last like day or so, I guess. Since this comes out, it's not even out in the game yet technically, but Tech LR Super Saiyan Broly is in there, so another one that picked Super Saiyan Broly, just because I think he's one of the most wanted. He's one of the oldest Pure Saiyan units that doesn't have an easy A, so even though he's not specifically tied to like Goku and Bardock, it would be a good easy A for the celebration, especially with these guys being a Pure Saiyan's leader. And also the Great Ape Team Bardock members, which, I mean, for the JP side, that will be very useful for this AGL Bardock that is now easy Aing for them, because he does want to have good low-class warrior allies, of which there are very few. So if the Team Bardock Great Ape units got their easy A's, that would obviously be super beneficial to helping out that Bardock. And you have ones like the AGL Tora is already a support unit, which could be very interesting. Like some of those Great Ape characters from the Team Bardock could be quite good if they give them decent easy A's. And then for a new event for the Saiyan Day celebration from Manato, we would have a new Supreme Battle Spectacle. So basically like what everyone's calling the Blue Zone, even though I suppose we don't really know yet, like with the Red Zone where we ended up with a stage where you fight Superclass with the Gammas. It doesn't necessarily always have to be Superclass enemies. It's just kind of the new theme of the new sort of style of event, right? So the new Supreme Battle Spectacle, but it would be versus Pure Saiyans. So some of the stages that are listed here are Raditz, Nappa, Bardock, Vegeta, Goku. So, you know, even if the first couple of stages were extreme, having Bardock, Vegeta, and then Goku as the final stages would be quite cool, especially if it's going up through their forms. Not all of them, of course, because then the stage is going to be as long as like the Legendary Goku event, but having a stage where you go up through some of these forms and fight all these Pure Saiyan characters could definitely get a Broly one in there as well. I think I know the anniversary gave us some new Broly events, which may be why he left that off the list here. But yeah, a new Supreme Battle Spectacle versus Pure Saiyans would definitely be good for some extreme class characters as well to get their buffs in those events. So that could definitely be a fun style event. So Minato, the Pure Saiyans theme celebration, headlined by Super Saiyan Goku and Bardock with a new tag mechanic. I would definitely be down for that. Let me know what you guys think of Minato's idea for the celebration down below in the comment section, and then let us move on to the next one. Okay, so moving on to the next one here, we have the submission from our boy Toon Rami. So shout out to Toon. His theme, funnily enough, so you guys know that over the years on Twitter and in videos and stuff like that, the Toon and Goresh have somewhat of a friendly rivalry, so to speak. And it is very, very funny that considering that Goresh ended up picking Broly movies, but focusing on Super Saiyan Goku as the main headline unit, Toon picked the Dragon Ball Z movie 8 Broly. So I wanted to include these. Normally when I give these guys the things, I try and make sure that nobody picks the same one. Goresh actually did originally pick Saiyan Day, and then picked the Saiyan Saga, and then wanted to change his mind. So I thought it ended up kind of funny that they both picked the Broly sort of movie, but Goresh went with Goku and Toon went with Broly. I thought that was kind of ironic considering their dynamic, and they both picked very different things for the content of the celebration. So I thought it would still be perfectly cool to go ahead and have these both included here, because they are quite different. So Toon's theme is just movie 8, Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan, and the Dokkan Fest for Saiyan Day would be the purple hair Super Saiyan Broly, you know, like the SSR of the Int one that we got a couple of Saiyan days ago, starts off as that form actually for the card, and then has an active skill where he transforms into Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. So that would be very cool. I know a lot of people who are fans of that form and the coloration for like the hair and everything felt very disappointed that we only got that unit as the SSR for the Saiyan Day Broly, and then as soon as you awaken him into the card that you're actually going to use, then he's just the Legendary Super Saiyan, so you don't get to see that design anymore. So I know that would definitely be very popular. He also said he should have the target focus skill. I don't know how they would put this animation into the game. It would be kind of funny if it just had the Goku and Piccolo like bit from the movie, but have his target active skill, the bit where he's just kind of stood there on top of the tower, just dodging Goku and Piccolo, trying to hit him. Just kind of like swaying from side to side, dodging all the attacks. So I guess it would be similar to the Blue Gogeta taunt from the anniversary, where it focuses all the attacks on him, but then he dodges all of them. That would definitely be very cool. Finally having, you know, we want these Brolys that are actually good tanks. So I feel that would be very cool. And yeah, getting a transforming Broly into new legendary Super Saiyan would be very, very fun. So then for the banner unit, good old Toon, been his want, his need, his prediction for multiple years now. The banner unit will be King Vegeta, which, I mean, you know, if King Vegeta's not going to get a headline Dokkan Fest for Saiyan Day, where can you fit him in? That's right, tied into the Broly movie, because obviously he plays an important part in the backstory of Broly and Paragus and their exile. So he can be here on the banner as the banner unit. So Toon finally gets his new King Vegeta in the game. I mean, I think it'd be cool to get a King Vegeta game. I mean, you know, he did much less because he doesn't have a TV special or anything like that. But we have a bunch of different Bardoks in the game, and we really only have the Super Strike King Vegeta. So King Vegeta banner unit, I'd be down for that. Then when it comes to the Easy A's for the celebration, who would have guessed? Big surprise, right? 3 for 3. We have the Tech LR Broly. As I said, I mean, when I mentioned it in the first part for Goresh's one, highly anticipated Easy A for the community, so not really much of a surprise to see that one here. Funnily enough, he also put AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku, so this is before the news that we got about the Super Easy A coming out and when it's going to be released, which it now seems like maybe it could be for Saiyan Day, so that was included here as well. And then also the physical Super Saiyan 3 Broly, the free-to-play one, and the Tech Bio Broly. So a couple of free-to-play Brolys in the game that don't have Easy A's, they would get their Extreme Z Awakenings as part of Toon's celebration here as well. So definitely could be interesting to see what they could do with those free-to-play ones. But there you go. Then for the new content for Toon's Saiyan Day celebration, I don't think anyone else included a burst mode, actually. Burst mode for the Super Saiyan 3 Broly Dokkan Fest event. I think that could be definitely very fun. Then we have extra Red Zone missions for Movie Red Zone 2 Stage 3. I guess we don't have the Movie Red Zone 2, though, on Global. So again, this is another one of those unfortunate JP to global crossover kind of issues, but missions for the Broly Red Zone, because of course the Broly Red Zone stage for the original movie bosses is Dragon Ball Super Broly, but in the movie bosses 2 Red Zone that comes out on JP, stage 3 is the movie 8 Broly, so it'd be extra missions for that stage. Again, for global this would be kind of awkward because it means they'd have to release movie bosses Red Zone 2, at least like the first 3 stages, I guess, just so they could have that mission there for stage 3. But I mean, I think that would be cool, right? Some of the stages are going to come out very soon on global after that anyway, after the release of the Dragon Fist Goku and Hirudegarn, so I don't think it'd be a huge issue for them to drop the first couple of stages so they can add those missions in. And then last but not least, an Infinite Dragon Ball History versus Broly. So Infinite Dragon Ball History stage, those are always fun, not difficult anymore, but nice little bits of content that you can play out, try out some like build up units and stuff like that. Start off against Paragus, go to Z base Broly, Purple Hair Super Saiyan, Legendary Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 3, then into DBS Wrathful, DBS Super Saiyan, Full Power Super Saiyan. And then he put a note at the end saying RIP Chain Battle, because of course there probably would be a Chain Battle for it if Chain Battle was still a thing. But there you go. So that was Toon's celebration based around Dragon Ball Z Movie 8, Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section, and let us move on to the final one here. Okay, so last but not least, when it comes to our submitters of custom celebrations here, we have the man himself, The Truth DT, coming to us with a very different themed one for what we've seen from the other submissions. I know a lot of people were suspecting or predicting or speculating, whatever you want to say, that this character was going to get a new unit during the anniversary, even when a lot of people thought one of the headliners would almost certainly be Beast Gohan. A lot of people were predicting this character instead of a Gogeta, and that is a brand new Ultra Instinct Goku. So the overall theme of Truth's celebration for Saiyan Day is basically just Tournament of Power, but the headline unit is a new UI Sign Goku. Now, he didn't really give specific information about what the card would want to do in this reply, but I think it would be very interesting to get a new Sign Goku that actually transforms into the Whitehead UI Goku, because obviously we have the Int one that does that, but he got his EZA quite a while ago. He's pretty outdated at this point, so I think that would be very, very cool. Obviously, that would allow us to then link up with both the STR UI Sign and the AGL UI Goku that both got their EZAs during the anniversary. Of course, he wouldn't be able to link up with the STR one until he's transformed, but then he'd be able to link up with him and still link up with the AGL one, because the same names obviously can still link when there has been a transformation involved. So a new UI Goku would definitely be very, very interesting. A new leader skill to cover maybe more of the Tournament of Power characters rather than focusing on specifically reps of Universe 7. I know we do have the Int Tournament of Power androids kind of for that as well, but it'd be definitely interesting to see what they could do with a new leader skill for UI Goku. And we definitely have some animations for him from the couple of different fights in the Tournament of Power that they could go to that have not been used for Ultra Instinct Goku. So I think a new UI Goku would definitely be very, very fun. Now, interestingly, for the side banner unit, rather than a Vegeta or one of the other Saiyans, Truth put down a Dispo as the side banner unit. Now, this is interesting. It's not out of the realms of possibility, because Saiyan Day, the headliner, is basically always a pure Saiyan. But as we know from the Saiyan Day where we got Broly as the main character, the Int Broly, his side banner unit was the STR Trunks. And of course, while he is still a Saiyan in one regard, he is a hybrid Saiyan. So they have shown that they don't have to be full-on pure Saiyans to be the banner unit, right? It's always the headliner, but not necessarily the banner unit. So I think Dispo is an interesting choice, but bearing in mind they do share some categories, things like Accelerated Battle, obviously the Tournament of Power categories, but they're characters that will share links like Shocking Speed. If they make this Dispo just a support unit for something like Accelerated Battle or just Tournament of Power in general, considering that is the theme of the celebration, then as long as they make this unit good enough, then whilst you're going to want to link this new UI Goku up with one of the other UI Gokus that we have, or Blue Evolution Vegeta, Blue Kaioken Goku, that kind of thing, as long as they make this unit good enough to be a really solid support unit that you can float in slot 3, then obviously he would work very, very well on that team. He'd be a buff to any sort of Universe Survival Saga based team, even the tournament participants with the Int androids. As long as they make him a very good slot 3 floating support unit, maybe with like the multi-turn support or something like that, then obviously he could be a very, very strong addition to those teams, even though he is not a Saiyan unit himself. You know, like I say, links like Shocking Speed, he'd have Fierce Battle, Tournament of Power, have a few links with the Goku, but if he's providing a ton of support, then that's going to matter infinitely more, especially if it is the multi-turn support. Then when it comes to the big ticket EZA, we have the LR Full Power Jiren. So I guess with the UI Gokus having EZA'd and a new UI Goku coming out, this does make perfect sense for this guy to get his EZA. A little bit of a shame that the STR Jiren is kind of already outdated and not particularly great for solo difficult boss content. But then I suppose that's another reason to have Dispo as the side banner unit, because then he'll work very, very well with this Jiren EZA. And I mean, he has the potential to be very good. He was always a powerhouse unit when he first came out, so with a solid EZA, he could definitely be a very, very strong unit. He's one of the few LRs that I have in the game, not at Rainbow, not because I haven't pulled all the copies, but just because I haven't filled in his hidden potential, because by the time I actually got the multiple dupes for him, it was already at the point where his non-EZA version was basically unusable. So rather than do his hidden potential, have him rainbowed, and then wait until he eventually gets an EZA and have to change it, I've just left him at like 97%, waiting to see what his EZA will give him in terms of what will be the best build. So LR full power Jiren definitely could be good. Like we said with the Goku as well, if he's leading a more sort of tournament power themed team, then this Jiren could have a home there, because let's face it, Universe 11 is basically a non-team at this point. So that could definitely be very, very good. And then in terms of the new content, an interesting one here that nobody else picked. From the anniversary, we got those new territory events. It's the one that has the hit artwork. A new stage where you fight Jiren in that event would be added as part of this truth celebration. So I think that would definitely be very interesting. I think it would be cool to add something else in wherever it comes to being a blue zone, red zone, whatever you want to call it, a tournament of power themed one of those. I think would be very, very good, because considering the amount of characters that get fought throughout the tournament of power, you could easily have one of those multiple stage events leading up to Jiren at the end, potentially. But all of the different people that they fight throughout the tournament of power that have units in the game, that could be a stage that we could get some decent, difficult content out of as well. So shout out to Truth, UI Goku, and a tournament of power themed celebration for his Saiyan Day submission. Let me know what you guys think of that one down below in the comment section. Which one did you like the most out of the 4 submissions that we got from my fellow Dokkan YouTubers? And then at the end here, I just wanted to give a little bit of extra thoughts for myself, because sometimes when I've done these videos in the past, people have asked me, like, what would I do for my own celebration? But these videos tend to go on quite long anyway. Now, when it comes to what I would like to see, as I mentioned during the Manato segment, the Bardock and Goku card I think is really high up on my list. And then, as I've mentioned in my own video that I did recently about the Super Saiyan 3 stuff, I really want to see a good standalone Vegeta if we're not going to get Bardock and Goku. So something like a Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, if it does tie in with the Super EZA stuff. Otherwise, I think a really good Saiyan Day unit could be a new standalone Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, because with the Heroes units that we got at the end of the year, with the full power LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku that came out last year, a new standalone really good Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta I think would be really good. Otherwise, a God Vegeta would be super good with the transformation animation from the Broly movie. I think that would be very, very fun to see. And then of course there is the good old classic, the Vegeta first going Super Saiyan from the Android 19 fight, because we have that Prime Battle Vegeta, but that's pretty much the only representation for it in the game. So a new one of those with the new quality animations I think would be very, very good. And then of course, depending on who it is, there's a whole bunch of different EZAs and stuff that could go along with them. Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comment section. Whose concept celebration did you like the most? If you had to design a concept celebration for Saiyan Day, let me know down below in the comments what you would pick. As I went through in this, right, just let us know the theme of the celebration, who's the Dokkan Fest unit, who's the banner unit, who would get EZAs, and what new content would there be. So let me know all of that down below in the comment section, and hopefully we will find out very soon what the celebration is actually going to be. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.